Yeah, Rick says, yeah, Steam itself doesn't show much impact until it starts to download shit. Yeah, you're right. Who just hopped in?
Porsalin.
What's up, Porsalin?
Hey.
By the way, documentary was fucking fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man.
I really, really enjoyed it.
We had a really fun watch along yesterday. It was there must have been about like 30 people watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a really good time. Except we had that guy Casper in, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Oh, really?
Like, mute him 3 times. He was so I love the guy, but he was like so annoying.
Was he drunk?
I couldn't tell. He was just rambling about just like nonsense, and nobody could hear the fucking thing.
Probably drunk.
Oh wait, do you know if Mersh is still pissed? Because I guess last night he was not happy about the. I think I forgot to put him into the credits, and I've done a lot of like put him in like everything basically. Like,
I haven't.
So I've tried to like.
I haven't talked
the situation a bit, but I just wanted to make sure that he's not too upset.
He's still sleeping. I haven't talked to him, so I really couldn't tell you. Because I mean, I went to bed early, like at a normal time, and I got up at 7, and he was long asleep. But sure, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was a good documentary. I thought it was really, really good.
No, it was like I said, it was just a total like slip of the mind thing, and I put him in like this. I had him in the end credits, and no, I meant to put him in the beginning credits, but then he was in the list of people that I was putting in the end credits, and I'd convinced myself stupidly that I've already put him in, and I didn't even go to check.
Yeah.
And then I exported it, uploaded it. It started getting a lot of traction, and by the time I realized it was
too late. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've like tried to do as much as I can.
I saw the addendum. The addendum was good. I mean, it.
Yeah, he's got. I've pinned my tweet link into him. I've pinned a comment on YouTube link into him. I've put the description permanently on the documentary link into him as well. So I want to like show that like, of course it's not that I'm not like appreciative at all. It was just a total like mind blank. And
no, I get it.
And yeah, I want to like really show that like obviously. Without Mersh, this thing wouldn't have fucking been made, to be honest.
No, I know. I'm sure I'm sure. I mean, I did see you pinned it. I mean, he'll be up in a bit. I'm sure he'll hop on and you could talk. But yeah,
I'd like to talk to him just to apologize again.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm sure you can. He'll hop on when he gets up. I'm sure.
Cool. What are you guys playing anyway? Are you playing
right now? I'm download. I was playing earlier Punch Out from NES, but I'm downloading.
Oh yeah.
People told me to download Friday the 13th the game because it's a fun game to play with a bunch of people. Because I want to get games where I get to play with the listeners get to play. We hop on Discord and we can play games and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to find fun games. I mean, on Friday the 13th they told me Dead by Daylight's good and. I used to do the Jackbox games, but the problem with the Jackbox games is they get boring after a while. Like, it's trivia and stuff.
They're fun if you're like going into some random Twitch channel and just doing it to spur them out.
To fuck with people,
but, like, if you're actually playing it legitimately, it just totally takes away any of the spice.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't go, oh yeah, look, I just wrote the N-word. Isn't that funny? It's like, oh yeah, but that's not actually that extreme for me. Like, it's kind of normal.
Right. Yeah, no, it's I played it on Twitch. My only concern is playing with that on Twitch is like I'm gonna get popped because our fans are fucking brutal. And then how do you explain to them? I'm not the one that said nigger. They did. Fucking yell at me. I didn't do it.
But Twitch will even get you for like mentioning the N-word to fucking your neighbor or something. They're so paranoid of that shit. Like it doesn't matter where you say it. They're just such a fucking terrible platform.
There is one fun one that's the robot freestyling game, which is really funny. And
is that Mount Your Friends?
Yeah. No. Wait, it's called?
No, yours is. You're talking about the Jackbox game.
Yes.
What's it called?
It's a robot one. It's a rap thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you do your own. Like you make your own free. You say a word and then you make a freestyle with it. And I was playing. We were playing, and I got me and Frozen Agent got really racist. Like really, really racist. That one was fun. But yeah, dude, seriously, that documentary was great. I don't know how anybody could watch that because I even saw like some bears that were like, "Look, I like Owen, but this was really well put together."
Yeah, I've been kind of like trying not to get too like into the chat and into the comments of the of the video, because it can kind of bum you out if you like you read like a 99 great comments and then just one that kind of like says something that you know is true, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, he's got me there. So I've tried not to see it, but I have seen a lot of that, a lot of like bears kind of going, yeah, you know, I can't argue with it. But I've also been screenshotting this morning some of the most bizarre comments, like, oh, you're just a liberal snowflake. It's just unbelievably how off base some of these people are. But yeah, it's I think I mentioned to one of the person, it's that old adage where it's like everything's fair game until it's something that you care about. Like, so I had like people say like, yeah, I used to think all your other documentaries were really funny, but this one you've totally missed the mark. And then at the very end, it's like they're saying like, Owen Benjamin's a great person. He's a thinker that we need in this world. Is like, oh, okay, so now I get your agenda. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Dude, I have the comments. It's funny you mention the comics. I have people saying that want me to show my backyard to show me that I'm like, seriously, like still haven't. Yeah, because in the Owen Benjamin worse than Anthony Cumia video I posted yesterday.
Right.
Still haven't shown what your backyard looks like. Nobody gives a fuck about two childless 30-year-olds who don't own anything in their lives.
I've seen your backyard.
Yeah, it's not. I have a nice backyard actually.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nice.
I have a pool,
screened-in pool.
I have a screened-in pool. It's really pretty, and I own my house. He goes, either show me the fruits of your labor or shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking retarded. Lots of bears in this comment section. Good thing I brought my shotgun. Okay, that's a good one.
Like, I've been just hate watching all these comments. They're so great. I was laughing my fucking... I know this is very chimeric, but I was literally in fucking tears watching some of these commenters say the most off-base shit. Like, like as if Steven Crowder and Owen Benjamin are too right-wing for me. It's like, come on, dude.
Dude. Revenge of the Sis. Listen to this one. Revenge of the Sis. What is this channel? Oh, it's a commie channel lecturing us on morals.
Yeah. That's one. I'm called a commie globalist, I think, at one point.
I've been called that. They go, you're soy boys, you're leftist, and I'm like, I would tell these people, you know, listen, nigga, I'm to the right of all these motherfuckers, so I don't want to hear it from you. Like, commie's the opposite of what I am. I think Crowder is too much of a bitch.
Yeah. It's the funny thing. I don't know if people saw it. I think you were streaming at the same time, but I just caught a little clip of Red Bar. He was going through. I think he just went through his section, and like he's enjoying it, and obviously is all in good nature and stuff. But at the end of it, he's talking about like how he's kind of worried that all these Owen fans are going to come after him now, and he thinks that I've done it on purpose as a like passive aggressive kind of like
just to fuck with him.
Mike, have some of these fans now.
Yeah, Mike will be fine. These Owen fans, the thing I've realized is that like I've had people come after it. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, like the whole Sticks thing that happened with us was way worse. Like way worse.
The Sticks crowd, you're dealing with like legitimate like IBS people who doxes each other for fun, and it's the same with the O&A community. Like, you know, once you've had a little bit of ribbing from the O&A community, deservedly so in my case.
Yeah.
It's like you really think that you like boomer fucking bear faggots are gonna like, you know, say something to trigger? It's like, it's not just literally not gonna happen.
It's not
like,
gonna happen.
The amount of documentaries I've done that like I've had to read, like everybody's like try to like dig under the skin a little bit to like say, oh, this Jim Norton won't see you just this, you just that, and it's like, you're way off base, and and you just like your own fucking shit is like bleeding through right now.
Yeah, dude, it's
whatever baggage they've got is just like totally being exposed.
I think the funniest part for me, and by the way, I think I like a lot of the. I've always said this. There's a lot of the people on the O&A Reddit that are very funny. I've always said that. Oh yeah. I laugh hard, but there's something.
It's a hilarious place.
It is, but there's something to be said about like sometimes they destroy them and then they do their bits. I'm like, well, I get it, but you can't make a Chip Chipperson joke unironically and then shit on Jim. Don't get me wrong. Jim should be shit on at every opportunity. I do not like him. I think out of all of them, he's the biggest fraud. I mean that. Out of all of them, he's the biggest fraud.
I agree.
I'm friends. I've been friends for many years with E-Rock, with Eric. Like we're legit, you know, close friends. And none of these dudes, none of these three dudes, no matter what, none of them stood up for anybody in that staff. They look. Look, here's the thing is, the fact that they had to go on air and say that Steve died and it was totally a suicide, right? Like Steve's totally a suicide. And they were going, no, it was a surgery, and then everyone stayed oddly quiet about it. You know, I don't know, man. These
yeah, the level of like just if you really wanted to know what the deep underlying feeling of those people are, like the way they dealt with the Steve C stuff and just the idea, like just how, because like I made the point in the Sam documentary that not, it was kind of like tongue in cheek that he caused Steve C's suicide, but that like the energy around those people may have contributed to what was already some kind of like really deep psychological issues that Steve was going through. But the way they reacted and dealt with Steve C's, it just tells you exactly how they treated him. You could see through the wall of exactly how they treated him by how they dealt with his. They didn't speak with him with reverence. It was more like just this unfeeling coldness to it. And it was kind of sad to see, because I kind of liked Steve C back in the day.
Yeah, no, I did too. You know, it's. I think the funniest part is out of all of them is they created these these animals and the pests and stuff. You know, and in seeing seeing Anthony Cumia of just out of all of them just falling apart and not letting anyone say anything and deleting everything. It's like, dude, you guys all got what the fuck you deserved. And it's hilarious to me that out of all of them, I think Jim is the biggest fraud. I think the biggest piece of shit morally is Anthony, and then he gets to be on Crowder. And it's like, really? Like, this dude is a piece of shit. He tried to rebrand himself as a conservative. Like, this guy's a fucking piece of shit human being. I mean, I've told the story before, but this is a true story. Many moons ago. This is like when I've been doing podcasting forever, and I was doing my Hippo Juice show many years ago. And when we first started doing it, the first thing we ever used, remember Mogulus or Livestream? So it was before. Yeah. So I was on Mogulus. I even toured the Mogulus fucking headquarters. So we were on there and we did that, and then Anthony was trying to find a way to do his compound show, and he happened by our show, and we were talking to him, and he invited us up to New York to go to the compound, and we're like, oh cool, that's the time at his house, and we're like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we go up there, and a couple things happened. Well, before he went up there, at the time he was dating that chick Raylan, the one who was LARPing as a LARPing cam girl Nazi chick. Well, we had somebody on our show named John, who's a good-looking guy, still is a good-looking guy, and he used to, go to conventions as Wolverine. And she fell in love with him. So the week before we went up there, she flew down. She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna visit with you guys. You're so funny." She flew down and she fucked John while still dating Anthony. She fucked John. This is a true story. I will. Yeah, this is well documented and it's true. She fucked my buddy John, and I know it's true because at the time we were in an apartment and he was using the air mattress in the spare bedroom. You could hear the air mattress squeaking. So she started banging him.
I don't know if you knew that, but did he ever find out?
Oh, yes.
I guess that's the relationship really that.
Oh, I'll tell you. The story gets better. So they banged. Then the next week we flew up to New York and we were staying at a Hilton. I don't remember, some hotel. And she was over, instead of being with Anthony at his place, she was over at our hotel room. Raylan was over at our hotel room. And before we left, she blew John, my buddy John, in the bathroom, right? She blew him. And then we left over to Anthony's house. I remember walking in and seeing her kiss Anthony on the mouth. This is to God as God is my witness. This is not a lie. I have there's a lot of corroborating people that can tell you this happened. It's kissed him on the mouth, and I'm looking at it. I'm just giggling. I'm like, oh no. But then, my buddy, my poor buddy John was honestly saying, look, you're going out with Anthony, we shouldn't do this. And she kept saying, no, we have an open relationship, it's okay. We have an open relationship, it's okay. Turns out they did it. Well, I mean, turns out he did, but she didn't, apparently. The next day, I get a call from her, Raylan, frantic, saying Anthony she lived in Canada, by the way. Anthony just kicked me out of the house, and she didn't have her passports because that's the girl that Jill Nicolini burned her passports.
Oh, God.
Same chick. So she was stuck at the airport with one bag of luggage and no ticket, trying to get back to Canada with no passport. And the next day on the air, because I was listening to O&A the next day, Anthony didn't ever said our name, but he goes, you know, that's the thing, man. No matter how you treat a girl, eventually they're going to fly down to Florida and fuck some 20-something-year-old. And I'm like, that's us. And
I love that the level of power that he and like, whatever that he ended up sort of getting, and then he's still at the behest of his fucking ugly as shit appearance, and like the minute that like any little teen girl that he ends up fucking like dragging into his crypt, the minute they see somebody that resembles an actual male, like he's fucked. Well, it's so funny.
Here's the other thing. So on top of all that, when we went up there, we went up there with this other chick met us who used to be a fan of ours, and Anthony, this girl named Nikki, and I won't give her a last name, but her name's Nikki, and we just became friends when she listened to the show, and she worked at the FBI, and she was married to an FBI agent. This is 100% true.
No.
While being married to him, when she went up there, she cheated on her husband with Anthony Cumia. Yeah, fucking 100% true story, because she called me the next day crying, going, I don't know, I got drunk, and this is true. And she goes, you know, he put Dune on, and we were watching Dune, because like that, I swear to God, and we were watching Dune. I know. And then, you know, they ended up banging. And I'm thinking to myself, you dumb, you know, you're married to someone in the FBI, and you go and you bang this man for no reason, because at the end of the day, like, he said it himself, like, he doesn't believe in the concept of love. And the reality is the concept of love doesn't believe in Anthony, you know, like, he wanted to be, I think he got picked on a lot as a kid, because he's always wanted to be banging broads guy, you know?
Yeah.
And after a while,
it's like his adult life is a massive overcompensation for just like years of just dreadful experiences.
No, that's true. It's like, oh, I'm 51 and I have a Shelby Mustang. Yeah, that's cool. I have a wife who loves me. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, your Mustang isn't going to feed you soup, you know, when you fucking teeth fall out.
I don't go to bed with horrible nightmares of all the evil shit that's dragging me down to fucking hell. Like,
yeah,
I've got like a clean, even, I mean, I'm not married, but like, I've got a clean conscience, and that is something Anthony Kimmel will never, ever have. Like, Mersh was playing a load of his stuff yesterday, just to get, I think, get people in the mood of for the Crowder appearance he was
right.
And it just reminded me of just the level of piece of shit, because I've seen the clips of him, those clips of him at his house with his cousin, the big tit cousin.
Oh,
who ends up sitting on his lap and everything. So I've seen the individual clip of that, but he played it long, and I've never seen the full version. And just the bit with the son that comes in and starts saying, like, you know, Anthony, watch out, kind of, you know, don't, and the bit where Anthony's actually where he is convinced that he's managed to sort out a deal to sleep with her that night. It's just the grossest shit. I was like, almost sick.
Dude, he has his cousin. He's white trash, dude, sitting on his lap, and then he starts beating up a retarded Bobo. It's like, this guy's fucking lost it, and he doesn't want anybody to know that past. He really thought he was gonna pull a Michael Savage or Glenn Beck and just switch to politics, but it's like, no, you can't, man. And the funniest part is go ahead.
He's got to be incredibly careful, like, because I mean, he's never going to like bubble into relevance again, in my opinion. I think that shit's done. Long sailed. But like him, even just him going on Crowder and just like perpetuating this idea that like, oh, I'm still somebody. Like, he needs to be careful, because like, if he ends up with too many eyes on him, like, so there's still a lot of things that the general media have no idea about. I mean, how Beige's docs have not been picked up by anybody, like a TMZ or any of that stuff, is bewildering, because they're doing great numbers, but and they've got revelations in them that would literally make the arse cheeks of anyone at TMZ purse like a fucking whatever. But like, it's astounding to me that that's not something that's been picked up, and he's got to be very careful how he toes the line with all this Crowder shit and like selling himself as some like traditional conservative guy that's like like totally above reproach, because he is like you said, Jim I think is the worst in for many ways, and that's why I did the Jim thing. But
being Two-Faced,
Anthony's definitely got the worst history. He's got the worst skeletons in his closet. He's got the worst secrets. And yeah, if I was him, I would have like 5 years ago, I would have, knowing what I've been doing, I'd have just literally gone into obscurity, as he puts it. Because the last thing I would want is some kind of like my face on the fucking Sunday paper, talking about kids I've been grooming and
dude,
fucking iPads and shit.
When Paige mentioned it in his last documentary, but Mersh put together that article on our website, Revenge of the Cis, where it was just a compilation of all the Reddit stuff. And for a while there, for almost a year, almost a year, when you would search Anthony Cumia in Google, it'd be like the third thing that would come up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like, and I was like, man, someone's going to see this. And the truth of the matter is, we had some of our fans even sending that article to Crowder going, hey, you're really going to have this guy on? But again, I honestly believe now that with this Owen thing, I really, really, really more than anything would like to go after Crowder. I think he's disingenuous. I think he's a piece of shit. I think that is fake. I care about you thing is fucking so. These dumb boomers, man, they eat everything up. And by the way,
I really like. I love the idea of doing something with Crowder. I don't know if I'll do it yet, but it's going to be very hard. With Owen, it's so simple because he's so stupid and he's so kind of like he doesn't have any foresight. So everything he does is like a fucking trash fire, or whatever you want to call it, a dumpster fire. It's like everything he does is like loud, crazy, easy to understand from a layman's perspective. It's not something where there's a lot of subtext and where you have to like look into their motives and stuff. It's very simple in that, and so writing for him in a documentary was like so easy. But Crowder, like, I can't think of like really, apart from the fibromyalgia thing and a couple of other little subtle things here and there, he's kind of towed the line a little bit. So it's going to be one that I think will be pretty hard to write if it was in documentary form, and it would definitely require me like, I don't know. It's one that I'm really, because I tried to think about like how I'd write it literally the other day, in like getting ready for like when I finish this one, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't think of like what the timeline is. I couldn't think of like it's really, really hard. And I think someone in the chat yesterday was saying that they were going to have a bash with it. Yeah, and I almost would like to let them try it. Give because it a shot, I really don't think I can do it. I'm really struggling to think how it can be done.
The only really
way I want it to be done because I think he's a bad guy. I really think he's some really
but I agree with you. I agree with you. Unlike Owen puts everything out there, so it was really simple. Even Norton's another one where everything's out there, so it's really simple to go, oh, this, and this, and this. But there's no stories of Crowder getting his glasses stolen by a tranny. You know what I mean? But I think that's because, and you know, to me, what I believe is, I think that makes him the worst out of all of them because I think he's disingenuous. I truly believe that he's disingenuous. I believe that the only real way to make that work is you would have to have somebody like a Not Gay Jared or somebody who's worked with him just have enough and go, listen, look, this is what Crowder's really like, You would need something like that, because outside of that, he has been very, very, very well protected. When he was just a fucking comic, when he was on CNN fighting with Amy Schumer, when he was a fucking a Christian comic, you know, I think that he's predatory. I think he's a predatory person. I really believe that he's somebody that I'm afraid when they get power, because he doesn't seem to have loyalty to anybody.
It's almost this like clinical political kind of like like you said, the way that he protects himself, the shell that he covers around him, like the idea that there are people that have left Louder with Crowder that you've no idea the story behind it, and that you kind of know that there's some stories in there that are probably pretty fucking dark, or probably pretty like shady from Crowder's perspective, but he operates on a very like high sociopathic kind of intelligence level, where it's like, because Owen I think so like Owen's got sociopathic tendencies, but he's also stupid, so they kind of like battle against each other. Whereas Crowder's like a high-functioning sociopath, whereas he knows how to like. He's a bit like the American Psycho guy. Like he knows how to like protect his crazy and his evil doings.
Crowder's not. Here's the thing I'll say about Crowder. I would never call Crowder stupid. Crowder's not a dumb man. He's not dumb. But that doesn't mean. Look, there's things that. These are the things that I always wonder, and I think to myself, like, how old is Crowder? 30-something, 31, maybe 32. He's younger than me. You're gonna tell me that a dude who's clearly, by the way, taking testosterone, TRT. There's no fucking way you're gonna tell me he's not. He's taking TRT, and that stuff. If you don't know, if you take TRT, that makes you fucking crazy horny because you're pumping testosterone in you. You're traveling around to all these colleges, and I'm not making accusations. I have any proof of this, but I would just say that. I would think that 99.9% of men put in that position. You don't think that Crowder has these fucking little college, MAGA college chicks throwing themselves at him? You don't think he's banging them? I'm sorry to say that maybe he's a better man than most people on the planet, but I can't imagine that he's not out there drinking some nights and he's over at fucking Yukon or wherever the fuck he's at. And some chick with a MAGA hat and her tits out that looks like Ashton Birdie's gonna come up and go, "Hey, you're so cute. You want to go? You want to talk politics over at my room?" And again, I don't know. That's completely me guessing. But I'm just saying, like, I can't imagine. Look, there's people that are way uglier than Crowder in that universe that have women throw themselves at him. You know what I mean? And Crowder's not a bad-looking guy, and he's in shape. I don't know. Again, this is me completely speculating. But it's just like I'm thinking of a typical dude traveling around with his friends and girls throwing themselves at them. Who knows? And I think
you're not really dealing with a typical guy. Like the fact that like Crowder is so really good at keeping his like whatever demons he's got. He's really good at keeping his personal life personal and like to the point where, like I said, if I ever did a documentary, it would be all conjecture, and a lot of it would be very easy for Crowder to maybe even investigate a defamation suit because there's no way of me knowing for sure anything about Crowder. So I think that he's totally like anal way of protecting himself in that way might lead over to like how regimented he is with his sex life. He might be just that kind of like crazy psychotic kind of like guy who's totally utterly regimented and like can control his urges and shit. And he's probably the kind of guy that like sits up late at night and fucking like shirtless, like setting fire to his nipples and shit to try and like resist the urges.
Hitting himself in the back like what those monks do, where they fucking whip themselves, just sitting on his knees and just hitting himself like he's in Angels and Demons.
These sexual demons out his body.
He is a weird dude, man. I will say that, but I mean the way to go about that is and he's very smart because he keeps his brother on the payroll. His dad's his manager, you know.
Yeah.
So he keeps very well knit and good for him. But yesterday, I felt like when he was having that little speech toward the end when he was talking about Owen, that's the maddest I've ever seen him. By the way, he was holding in rage. But when he started going on the Opie rant about fucking haters, are you a hater or you're just a hater? And it's Crowder, your entire career has been made off of you being a hater, which is fine. But your entire career is confronting libtard, stupid college kids. Like that's where you made your bones. You're not debating a high intellectual person. You're debating Tyler, a liberal arts major in a school. You know, you're really owning the libs. I don't know.
And the minute he went against anyone that had a modicum of sense, as he did with the socialism, changed my mind, and he got absolutely fucking embarrassed. Like I was not with the argument that the socialist kid was making, and I don't even think the socialist kid was even with that argument. I think he was just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
But he absolutely embarrassed him, and then you saw the real Crowder, the Crowder that got into his personal space, came out with the ad hominems, came out with just argued really in bad faith, and that was it's the same with Ben Shapiro. The whole thing of like, yeah, you're making your bones by like arguing with fucking college kids. And let's be honest, if you don't think this is them acting out against their own fucking high school experience,
of course,
you're out of your mind.
Ben Shapiro, man, there's a difference. Here's the difference. And by the way, I think Ben Shapiro is really annoying now. But here's the difference, I think, between Ben Shapiro and Crowder. I think Ben Shapiro, if you look into it, does not have as many would not have as many skeletons in his closet as someone like, because he is legitimately religious. He seems like someone who's boring. Talk about, he seems like somebody who's he won't even eat pork. He's just very like, you know, it's funny hearing him do his live reads because he doesn't use half of the stuff he live reads. Like, he's like, all right, so you're going to buy food insurance, okay? I can't eat it because I'm Sabbath, and I'm better than you because I'm the chosen people. But the fucking schlubs in my studio, they say the food insurance is fantastic. And it's like, all right. All right. That's why Mike came up with the, he'll plug anything. All right, I want to say meat and cheese on the same plate.com, okay? Meat and cheese on the same plate. Bacon of the Month Club. Daily Wire Bacon of the Month Club. I can't eat bacon because I'm not a heartless goy like you guys are. But if you want to give me money anyway for you sinning, and it's like, all right, Ben, fucking have some moral integrity. You think Ben's walking around wearing MeUndies? Get out of here. He's not.
Okay, folks. Zyklon B. Okay, folks, we got Zyklon B here.
That's fucking Ben fucking Shapiro. I would love, that's the, I want to do a red pilled Ben Shapiro. That would be like really just JQ Ben Shapiro to blow everything up would be amazing. I don't understand. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. Why were the smokestacks added afterwards? Okay, folks, it doesn't make sense, all right? Let's pretend you're baking bread, okay? Pretend it's bread. Do you really think you can make 6 million loaves of bread with those smokestacks? I'm like, whoa, Jesus Christ, man.
Did you know that Auschwitz like changed the name like 4 times? Okay, folks.
Why would
they changed the number like 4 times?
Why would they give them soccer fields to play in? Does it make sense? Right, folks? Pay attention, folks. Seriously. First off, I do my new segment today. You guys like good Trump, bad Trump. I'm going to do good Hitler, bad Hitler. And let me tell you, there's not a lot of bad.
It's all about Hitler. It's all about Hitler. Okay, folks?
He gets so accelerated. It's so accelerated. If I make you cry, I win the argument. Okay? I'm going to go to colleges and I'm going to own children because of my insecurities because I'm 5'1". Okay, folks? His Wikipedia says he's 5'7", but I don't buy it.
I like you said, I don't have any visceral. Like, I think he's full of shit, and I think the minute like he's totally like, you know, the obvious thing, anti-identity politics until it comes to the fucking Wailing Wall. It's like,
yes,
dude, you're full of shit, and it's pretty fucking obvious, and it's really, really easy to pick on the exact element of where you're full of shit on. But I don't, you know, at the same time, like, it's self-preservationist.
Of course.
And, you know,
of course.
He's a really devout Jew, and of course he's going to shill out his fucking Jew friends and stuff.
Wait,
that's fine. I don't necessarily think he's evil in the way Crowder is.
No.
I think he's just a boring Jew who, you know, who's making a lot of money right now. So they're just like,
and you know, finally, I'm finally glad Jews are making money because they don't make enough money. So I'm really happy that they're giving him a break. Giving him a break. By the way, but this is the other thing with Shapiro.
I see that reparations for Jews has started to come into effect. Jewish reparations.
Yeah, Jewish get reparations at gunpoint. Okay, here's the thing, folks. Israel's never done anything wrong. I'll never criticize them ever. Okay, they're perfect. They're amazing. If you're an Arab, you can live in Israel. You can just do whatever you want. You can punch Jews. Everything's fine. We're amazing. Don't mind the fact that we've been deporting 7,000 Africans because we don't want them with our daughters. Okay, folks.
Okay, folks. So Palestinian kids, they're dogs. Okay, folks. They're dogs.
We should murder all Palestinian kids, okay? Everything Israel does is in self-defense. We do nothing wrong, okay, folks? Fuck, Ben. We get it, Ben.
Like I said, it's very easy to see the full of shit slice in his... Because, like, if it wasn't for the Jew shit, like, you could probably be like, okay, he's kind of like, you know, mostly... Not mostly fair, but, you know, whatever. But it's just... It's such a, like, anomaly in his whole, like... fucking free speechy, anti-identity politicsy kind of like shtick. It's just like such an anomaly, such a like a sore thumb out of the whole thing. Yeah. But like I said, as far as like him v Crowder thing, it's just a non-set. It's not a non-starter. I mean, Crowder's an evil, crazy person. I'd love to. I don't know how it's going to happen. Taking this like sort of like this phase 3 of Crowder. I don't know how it's going to happen or how it's going to manifest itself, but I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, man, I really don't know what the end game is, but I'm really surprised that Crowder stayed signed with Blaze. Like, I would have thought that he had enough juice to go on his own. And you know, it's funny because I know Crowder was at the very beginning trying to get Ben Shapiro to move everything over to CRTV, and that Jew's not letting go of any of his shekels. And that's okay, folks. I'll go on Crowder. That's fine, but I own my product. Okay? All right. Yeah. Look, facts don't care about your feelings unless you have facts about the USS Liberty. Then I don't want to hear them, folks. I don't want to hear them. All right? I want to hear them.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, I don't know. Again, like, I can't see, because it can't be. The Crowder must be making a ton of money with the Mug Club stuff. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I know he's always moaning and crying about how much it is to pay all these staff and how much it costs to like keep everything afloat. And I work in broadcasting. I kind of know a little about how the figures work and everything. And I'm looking at his setup. You can replicate that setup for very little. I mean, you buy like a TriCaster, and okay, that's probably one of your biggest expenses there. But the rest of it, you could create the rest of his setup very, very, very easily and have it run by one or two mediumly skilled people that you can pay pretty much fuck all, really.
Yep.
You pay graduates. You bring in a couple of graduates who can run that entire show, and it would literally cost like next to nothing. Like, I'm not buying it that his show is this incredibly expensive, high production.
Exactly.
It's total nonsense.
Exactly what the high production.
There's no reason it would be.
Yeah. No, you're right though. It's who's that? Chronic Ops?
Yeah, bro.
Hey, cool. Yeah, we're live though, in case you didn't know, on Daywave, just so you know. But no, it's not expensive. Like, I'll be honest with you. If you look at my studio in here now, I have a green screen against the wall. We never use it. You know what I mean? I have a green screen in the wall. I didn't mean hop out, Chronic Ops. Why did he? I didn't mean you had to leave, stupid. Yeah, why did he leave?
That was very strange.
I don't care. Hey, stupid. You know when to leave. But yeah, I have a green screen here, and it's like, dude, I look at that, and it's like, all these people. Look, I could go on Amazon right now and get a faux brick wall stick-ons right now for my wall, and I'll go down the street and get a bar sign made. Like, you're right. There's nothing. He's acting like he's producing a show like where it's all these high level skits, you know, and it's like, no, you're in a green screen and they're stupid. And I mean, I know there's YouTubers that don't have a team that could put together a better show by themselves.
And functioning, like, just general functioning costs. It's not like, okay, so he does some of the change my mind things where, okay, maybe he has to get like a couple of GoPros that he uses and maybe a DSLR or something,
right?
And like set up a really shitty stand with a shitty little sign or whatever. Like, there's nothing there that's really costing a lot of money as far as like, operational costs. And then like he does the Crowder Confront stuff, but none of that even would make a dent in. If you think about every single live stream he does on YouTube, eventually gets the hundreds of thousands of views. Right. So even if you make a moderate guess of how many Mug Club members there are and at the cost of how much a Mug Club membership is, he's making a shit ton of money. Like, there is no need for this entire like, woe is me, we're a struggling, like, I'm sorry, dude, you get crazy numbers and you're doing incredibly well. And this whole Blaze thing, it's all about fucking greed, and it's all about it's like, I want more. It's like, okay, but you're weighing this I want more against your integrity, because your integrity says go alone, fuck Blaze, take a stand, and I guarantee if you do that, your fans will grow and they'll have respect for you, and you'll reach out to new people who might actually be like, you know, maybe I was wrong about Crowder. Maybe he's actually not full of shit after all. Instead, he went for the, no, actually, fuck that. I want more. Blaze is corporate. Blaze is like next level. Blaze might get me to that next level. And you would above. Naturally, like, as dude, you began, you're already there. You're already where every single person that wants to do something that you're doing. You're already like their fucking wet dream right now. So, like, it's this crazy Jewish kind of fucking like.
It is.
It really, really makes me so mad.
And the thing is with Blaze TV,
the whining about money makes me so mad about Crowder.
It does. And, the thing with Blaze that I think is here's the perfect part with Crowder. It's like, Crowder will plug his mug thing like 5 times during a show. I sometimes forget to do live reads for my own Patreon because I care more about putting out the product. No, I care more about putting out the product. Like, I'm like, who gives a shit? Put it on a good show. People will figure it out. And I know that's probably bad and self-defeating.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think he wanted that Blaze deal because Glenn Beck and Blaze has an in with, like, DirecTV.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, dude? He has an in with DirecTV and stuff, so I think he's trying to get on TV. I think he thinks he's gonna be the right wing Johnny Carson because Steven Crowder brings up Johnny Carson way too much for somebody who's not even close to being Johnny Carson. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he sees when he's making all of this fucking hokey nonsense, but he's not going to end up anywhere near he thinks he is. And his dream of having this right wing Carson-esque kind of platform, it's never going to get bigger than where he is now. Look at Glenn Beck. I don't necessarily think Glenn Beck and his universe are any like that further up the ladder than Crowder is, really. Like, right. Yeah, they've got the corporate links and contacts and things like that. But as far as like reach and shit, I mean, yeah, he's obviously a bigger reach, but I think Crowder's plateaued. I think he's basically reaching the number of people that he'll likely ever reach anyway. So yeah, why not just fuck Blaze off and just, do a Shapiro and go it alone?
No, yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think that, again, I think the greediness has something to do with it because he brings that up a lot. He goes, we don't have 40 staff members like the Young Turks. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why not though? Like, they make money, they're going to say, oh, CNN gave them money. Look, if you think, by the way, this is something else. If people don't think that Crowder's getting some money from some sort of Republican something, you're fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
There's somebody else giving him money, guaranteed. I don't care what it's.
Ezra Levant kind of deal under the table thing.
Yeah, there's 1,000. There's 1 million mugs being shipped somewhere to Austin because they just need to filter it through the mug club. That way nobody sees it.
Yeah, it's just all laundered through mugs.
Hey, why do the Koch brothers have fucking 1 million mugs? I don't understand. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense. All right, man. I'm gonna hop off, dude. I've been on too late anyway. All right, man. Thanks for being on. I'm gonna end up the show later, brother. Thank you for listening, guys. You got some overtime. You got a bonus interview. What do you think? You don't get better than that. I'll be downloading the game afterwards. Take it easy, folks, and have a wonderful, fantastic day, Wave.